Alright, Wild at Heart. Let's do that one. Search for signs of Hannah in the woods. There's a missing wife. Another missing wife. Lots of missing wives and daughters in this land. Out here near Heatherton, okay? Oh, not far from the Peller, I guess. Oh, there's a cutscene here.
Witcher?
What are you doing here? Shouldn't be in the forest alone.
I came to tell you. You needn't look for Hannah. She'd have returned long past were she alive. I'll pay you twice Nealon's pledge. Just tell the man his Hannah's dead.
Don't want to know what happened to her?
I've no illusions, Witcher. In Velen, you're gone as long as she's been. You don't come back. Hannah's dead for certain. Nealon ought to accept his loss. Move on with his life.
Strange. People usually prefer to know the fate of their loved ones, whatever the cost.
What good will it do? I'm not getting my sister back. And Nealon's all I got left.
Oh.
I can't lose him too.
Does she want her sister's husband?
He'll not rest till he avenges his Hannah, even if it eats up his life. The man deserves better.
You could be right.
Thank you. My sister, she'd appreciate you giving her man the chance to stay on you.
Wait a minute. I wanted to find Hannah, though. Where it said agreed, I thought they just meant that I agreed with her thinking that Nealon deserved better.
Looks like a hunter's quarters.
Isolated shack. Oh, maybe I can still find
Man's
Hannah.
clothes. Shredded, but no sign of blood. Who rips their own clothes off, leaves them in the woods? Notes. Wonder whose.
I am who I am. I can't change that. Shirts woven of parsley and potions made of virgin's tears might work in old wives' tales, but not for me. It is time to come to terms with it. With Hannah's love and iron discipline, I have found a way to manage. But I must remember to hide in the woods before the full moon rises, to go somewhere far from others, far from Hannah. The attack comes and then passes. I wake up with wounds on my hands and the taste of blood in my mouth. Perhaps it is for the best that I don't remember. Killing prey with bow and arrow is one thing. To tear it apart with fang and claw, at least here deep in the woods, I won't hurt any people. Merciful Melitele, or whatever the name is, watch over any who stray too close.
Werewolf. No doubt about it. Gotta be careful.
Ooh, locked chest. Key required. Oh, they have got lots of silver around. Find the werewolf's lair using your Witcher senses. I have that option in the quest. Oh, do I want to go fight a werewolf? Well, this says I only have to be suggested level 7, so maybe it's not a very powerful werewolf? Yeah, no kidding. I still says, is every woman in here a manipulative witch? I know. I this game does seem to emphasize some, I don't know what we would call it, stereotypes, let's say. I mean, it's very much like Geralt is the strong, silent type, and the men are all horrible leches, and the women are manipulative harpies, and yeah, it's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty dim. I was talking to my husband about that the other day, that this game, there's no one is good in this game. There are no good people in this world. It's a sad sack, miserable world, and no one in it is good. Sweet cinnamon rolls do not survive here. But, if you think about it, I mean, Skyrim was a really dim world as well. I mean, I remember when I started playing Skyrim, the first time I played Skyrim, but, when I got far enough into the game to realize, like, everyone in the game had secrets. Everyone was secretly a cannibal, they were secretly a vampire, they were secretly a murderer, or, something. Like, everybody seemed to have secrets, and there was no one in the game, very few characters in Skyrim that were truly good. They all seemed to have dark secrets. But even with that said, in spite of many of them having dark secrets, there were also many that seemed to be struggling to try to do the right thing, to try to be decent people. And it didn't seem to me to have as dark and dim a view of men and women and of the world as this game does. Right? And certainly in Skyrim, I never really felt like there was, I don't know what you would want to call it exactly. I'm trying to think of the right terms. It didn't feel like it exploited women to me as a female player. I don't feel like there was a lot of female exploitation. There were a few places where it was a little bit weird. There was that one sex-shaming quest with the lady in Riften whose niece didn't like her sleeping with men in town. And then there was another quest. I think we got it also in Riften. It wasn't located in Riften, but I think we got it in Riften from the guy who was the innkeeper or the bartender of the Ragged Flagon. If I recall correctly, he was the quest giver, and you go out and you find this necromancer who's basically killing village girls and then reanimating their corpses and having necrophiliac relationships with them, which is really twisted. But, I never felt like the clothing was exploitative or excessively sexualized in Skyrim. At least, the male versus female clothing. I mean, there was some male clothing that was sexy, and there was some female clothing that was sexy. It didn't feel overdone too much that I noticed ever, except for maybe the bar wenches. A few of them had low-cut bodices or whatever. But, then there were guys running around with, their manly thighs hanging out or their biceps or whatever. Like, it didn't feel unbalanced to me. And it didn't feel excessive. It didn't feel exploitative to me. And women owned businesses, and women were warriors, and, men were bards, and it was all, it just didn't seem, I don't know, this world seems so much more, into its manipulative women and low cut outfits, and dudes being dude bro doodly dudes, and all, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it seems so much more into that aspect of things. It's a little, I don't know. See, it's not bad enough that I'm going to stop playing it. Like, it hasn't stopped me from playing it, but You know, like I could kind of tell, like in that Kira thing where we were supposed to be having dinner together, you know, it seemed totally scripted. Like they just assumed everyone's going to sleep with Kira, right? They just assumed the player's going to sleep with her. Because why wouldn't you, right? Because all the dudes that are playing this game are like, yeah, I'm going to sleep with her, right? But like, you know, I didn't want to. She, like I said, you know, I don't trust her. She's manipulative. She's into that evil plague doctor dude. You know, no, right? I mean, there's a saying I've heard, at least in the US, like, you know, you don't stick your dick in crazy. It's just no, right? So I don't want to sleep with her as Geralt, right? I wouldn't sleep with her with a borrowed Geralt dick. Um, but you know, the whole thing seems scripted, like it just expected you to, and then when you don't, it just didn't seem to really know what to do with that. It was just kind of like, okay, here's another chance to sleep with her. No, okay, how about this chance to sleep with her? No, all right, well, she's just gonna put you to sleep anyway, and you're still gonna flirt with her, and like, I don't know, it just, come on, you know. I mean, I guess that's what he's like, this medieval James Bond. He just goes around and sleeps with everybody. Is that the way it works? I don't know. Alright. Let's go find a werewolf. Oh, there's something over there. Is that a bear or a werewolf? If it's a werewolf, it looks like a bear. Oh, it's saying right here is where the lair is. Is that another bear? Or is that something else? How many bears are there out here? Is there a pair of bears? Oh, right here. See some blood.
Blood's just barely dried. He was dragged here. Wonder where from.
Alright, what do we know about werewolves? They don't like moondust bombs. They don't like puffball, double puffball, cursed oil, or igni. Okay. Alright, well, let's see if we have some cursed oils. Search the werewolf's lair. Wait for nightfall. Alright, how about now? How about now? Is it nighttime now? Or do I have to wait till midnight? Oh, here we go. Go into the arena here where we have a little more room. This werewolf is... healing really fast. Oh, I just ate raw meat. I don't like doing that. Oh, we did it.
No, stop! Don't harm him!
I changed my mind.
Leave him be!
Think we need to talk.
It's Neelan!
It's
Lycanthropy can
Neelan.
afflict anyone, but it is a curse, so sorry, but I have to.
You don't understand! I love him! He was near to being mine till you came along. Go away! Leave us be!
What, so he can turn you into a werewolf too?
Not till I find out what's going on here.
I love him. Always have. Even after I'd learned his secret.
You knew? Did you know I shut myself in here to wait out me change?
I knew, and I didn't mind. But you chose Hannah. I wanted her to see you. I wanted her to fear you. She'd not have stayed. And we could be together.
You brought her here. That night. 'Twas the reason I had the taste of blood in me mouth come morn.
So he ate his own wife?
She was to see you turn, not more. I didn't want her death. You've got to believe me.
I don't. And I'll kill you willingly. First time for that, in fact.
You won't kill anyone, ever again.
No! Don't hurt him!
Get out of here before I change my mind. Run. Sorry it had to end this way.
I'm not sorry. We can't have a werewolf running loose on the peasantry. Are you kidding? And what's to say he wouldn't have just eaten her eventually too? Or turned her into a werewolf and then you'd have two werewolves. Nope, can't let that go on. I'm a witcher, and that's my job. I got one job, and it's to kill monsters. Well, now we have the key, we can go loot his stash. Oh, it's Margrit. Can't talk to her. She's just gonna sit here, huh? And cry by the fire. Yeah, well, you should cry. You're lucky that I don't take you up for justice. Take you up to the village and let them know that you let your sister get killed by a werewolf and that you are harboring a werewolf. She's lucky we don't burn the whole place down with her in it. Oh boy, hunting trousers and some silver ore. I fought a werewolf for some pants. Well, no. I fought a werewolf so that he wouldn't be terrorizing the village any longer. And I put him out of his misery, and we got to the bottom of the story. We found the truth.